Please join me in prayer as together we recognize and acknowledge that this beautiful day is the day that Spirit has given us this morning, all for our delight. So we will rejoice and be glad in it. We give thanks for this season of Advent, for the delicious anticipation of Christmas. We give thanks for all the celebrations of light that happen during this solstice time of year. We give thanks for each one here, for the light that each one brings in his or her heart. I know that as we bring the light of our hearts together in beloved community, the light of Mystic Heart glows ever brighter. So I just give thanks for each one here, for the dedication each one has to their spiritual growth, to the love and friendship and camaraderie that we share, fellowship. And I give thanks for this time together, knowing that it unfolds perfectly and powerfully with great joy and love as we listen and meditate and converse. I know that each one of us receives that which we came here to receive. Each one of us shares that which we came to share. And so with a grateful heart, I release this prayer, knowing it's already so, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Chris, for the beautiful opening. Brave souls out in the blustery day. Thank you for being here. Welcome and happy solstice. Today, this morning at 7:03, we made the turn back toward the light. So if you're new with us here this morning, my name's Reverend Diana Johnson. I'm pastor and spiritual director for Mystic Heart Spiritual Center. We're an independent interfaith congregation, and we teach universal principles and practical spirituality, tracing the common threads of truth that run through all of the world's great traditions. So this morning we're going to center our reflections on the joy in giving. Trust that you'll be led to the guidance and wisdom of your own mystic heart. So a brief introduction before we join our voices in musical prayer. Winter solstice, the shortest day of the year. After today, we make the annual journey back to the light. Today is also the fourth Sunday of Advent, and we have our candles lit to remind us of the Christ consciousness that lies in potential within each one of us, to represent our inherent spiritual qualities. And we have here the candle of faith or hope, the candle of peace, the candle of love, and today, for the first time, well, actually we lit it on Wednesday evening. We cheated. But this morning we have a candle for joy. Excuse me. So we understand joy as that deep, deep sense that under the surface, no matter the appearance, all is always well. Joy is our natural state. It exists in potential in every moment, should we decide to choose it. Should we decide to surrender to it and to allow it to fill our being. So we're going to begin our Taizé meditation this morning, as always, by joining our voices in musical prayer.
Welcome home to your mystic heart. Lay aside guide you to heaven's throne. Welcome home to your mystic home. Lay aside whatever came before. Let your own intuition start to guide you to heaven's door. To guide you to heaven's door. To guide you to heaven's door. Still my mind, be at peace in my awakening. I release with my heart, free my soul. In my awakening, I am whole. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti. Still my mind, be at peace in my awakening. Release with my heart, free my soul. In my awakening, I am whole. Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti. Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti. Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti. Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti. Just a final Om. Settling into this sacred moment, we breathe, allowing the presence of Spirit to fill our being. Surrendering into this precious, never to be repeated moment.
allowing ourselves to be held. Breathing in peace. And then sharing that peace back out into the world on the out breath. Breathing in love. And sharing that love on the exhale. Breathing in joy, allowing it to fill you completely. And then sharing your joy. Remembering that the breath connects us to our fellow humans and to all other creatures. We share the same life-giving air. The breath connects us to the plants as we inhale what they have offered and we exhale what they require to create oxygen and food in return. And the cycle continues. Breath is life. There are no barriers. There is nothing to separate us from life. Each of us is a life in process. Every creature, plant, rock, and grain of sand. Every drop of water, all that exists, no matter how large or small, is an intricate and irreplaceable part of the one life. All dancing together in this cosmic mystery. Take a moment to breathe in that sense of connection. Breathing in, I receive the life that connects all beings, all things, all of creation. And breathing out, I give back to life. As human expressions, we're given self-reflective consciousness, the ability to make choices, and so our responsibility is to make them wisely, to care for our brothers and sisters, human and otherwise, to care for the Sacred Mother as she gives of her nourishment, to make an honorable and noble contribution to life itself, doing no harm, and aiding in the transformation happening in our world. We bring the year to a close with reflections about joy and how there is joy in giving. We are told that joy and happiness are not the same. Happiness is an emotional state that wells up when the events in our lives are as we would wish them to be, and leaves or turns to another less desirable emotion when they are not. Happiness is changeable. But joy is not an emotional state. It's a spiritual quality, inherent in our being. It is a gift of spirit, given at birth. Joy is the faith in goodness, always unfolding. The experience of all that happens in life being turned to or used for good. In the book of Nehemiah, chapter 8, it says, "The joy of the Lord is your strength." In other words, the trust in and experience of goodness being revealed. Your expectancy of good is your strength. Faith and expectancy are attractive forces. Like attracts like. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin spoke these words: "Joy is the infallible sign of the presence of God." And so the opposite must also be true. When I place my faith in the infallible presence and goodness of God, I find the deep joy that lives within me. We somehow expect that joy should be obvious, visible. But Reverend Teresa Burton of Unity shared a different perspective. Sometimes joy arrives quietly, a whisper in the heart, and a deep serenity in body and soul. The joy that is quiet, the joy that fills our hearts with love and our eyes with tears, is a joy that brings us home to ourselves. That joy is ours when we touch the peace and perfection of the divine and know deep in our hearts that God is not separate from us and never was. That kind of joy is mine when I open my eyes to the goodness of life. When I make a practice of seeing clearly that life is a gift. When I willingly receive life as a blessing. When I hold this life of mine with reverence. When I say, yes, I live this life with care. Yes, I accept and receive joy as an inherent quality of my life and of my being. And yes, I am most grateful. Thank you. As I begin to say yes to the gift of life, to the gift of joy, my relationship with it begins to change. My life becomes the unfolding of one miracle after another. And joy becomes the rock, the foundation on which my life is built. One of the ways we can bring more joy into our experience is to give of ourselves. There is joy in giving, no matter what we are giving. Our time, our talent, our financial support, a listening ear, a smile, a kind word. So often we hold back. We refrain from offering our gifts to the world. The holding back may not be intentional. We may not ever realize that we are holding back. We are distracted by our own life circumstances, stuck in our own minds, in our own difficulties. We may barely have the energy to take care of what lies before us. What we forget in such moments is that it is in giving that we receive. When we let go of ourself, our lives and challenges for just a little while, and give our time and attention to another, we find a greater joy than we had before. The act of giving not only brings relief to another's suffering, but it brings relief to our own. The act of giving energizes us so that we can face our own circumstances with renewed life. Maybe we're afraid to give. We fear that what we have to offer isn't good enough, not worthy, or that it will not be appreciated. What we forget is that each one of us is absolutely unique and has particular gifts to offer. These gifts are given to us by the Creator so that we might share them. We were never meant to hold them back. In the Christian scripture, we are told that we are made in the image and likeness of God. This means we are of the same essence and substance, and our lives are guided by the same process as the one source. We say that God is love, or infinite self-givingness, forever giving of itself to become all of creation. If we are made in that image, are we not built to be givers? When we are generous with our time, talent, financial resources, we are aligning with our true nature. When we are contributing to others without concern for what we will receive in return, we are living from our highest self. We are serving God by serving one another. We are in sacred service. And so we feel good. We are fed. And as an added bonus, as we give, so do we receive. As we sow, so shall we reap. This is a spiritual principle. It's just the way things work. In the 81st chapter of the Tao Te Ching, we find this bit of wisdom. The sage never tries to store things up. The more he does for others, the more he has. The more he gives to others, the greater his abundance. In other words, the Tao tells us that there is joy in giving.
On our altar this last Sunday of Advent, burn candles representing faith, peace, love, and this week's principle of joy. And at the top of the star burns the Christ candle, representing the holy light that is the source of all light. As Reverend Diana reminds us, these are all qualities of spirit, divine attributes that are eternally present. Hope may grow strong or fade away, but faith is a complete reliance on spirit. Tranquility comes and goes, but there is an unshakable peace at the essence of all that is. Human feelings of affection can change according to inner or outer conditions, but divine love is what impels the ongoing process of creation. The divine quality of joy also is eternally present. Even when we grieve, we know that at the root of our sorrow is the joy that we once shared. When we are grateful, we cannot contain our joy. It overflows us and infuses those around us. It is contagious. Joy touches the divine spark that lies deep within the heart of each of us. In the Hindu tradition, the bliss that comes from experiencing oneness with the Creator is called Ananda. The purpose of yoga or spiritual practice is to remember that unity, to release the illusion of separation. As we align ourselves with our true nature, we are able to feel the divine presence, to feel true joy. Happiness is wonderful, but it is only a dim reflection of the bliss that is divine joy. In our 3 minutes of shared sacred silence this morning, I invite you to recall a moment of bliss. Perhaps it was a full-blown mystical experience, or maybe you were simply very happy. Invite that feeling into your consciousness now, into your body, deep into your heart. Dive deeper and deeper into that feeling. Trace it all the way back to its source. Access the joy of God that lies within you. Thank you, Spirit of Joy, for this experience of divine bliss, for the joy of gathering together in beloved community with my spiritual family. We are grateful for this deeper understanding of faith, peace, love, and joy, for the reminder that they all dwell within us, and may we all be sacred channels bringing joy to the world. Our spiritual practices grow our faith, and our faith brings us peace. Centered in peace, we freely send our love out to all of creation, and we feel the joy of Spirit expressing through us and as us. Giving freely of ourselves, we embody the self-givingness of God, and our joy multiplies. As this morning's Taizé continues, we receive Reverend Diana's inspiring message with open, joyful hearts, centered in faith, peace, love, and the bliss of oneness with our God and with one another. We celebrate the joy in giving.
Each of us in a place like this is working to learn how to say yes to life more and more often. Yes to goodness. Yes to faith. Yes to giving. Yes to joy. We're learning to fully recognize and receive our life as the mysterious gift that it is. We're coming to accept the messy and profane as well as the miraculous and beautiful. Coming to see the gift in all of it. Finding our sincere yes to giving requires courage and effort. It asks that we rediscover our courage, our childlike curiosity and willingness. It asks that we begin again. Saying yes to life, saying yes to giving, saying yes to joy is a day-by-day, moment-by-moment process. It means feeling the fear or resistance that may come up, feeling the deep sadness of life's circumstances, being willing to find the smile behind even the most difficult places, and working through the no to get to the yes. This can only work for good, because when one person finds their yes for life, their yes for giving, and yes for joy, a higher vibration begins to move through their body and through their experience of life. The walls of friction and fear begin to soften and shrink. The organism of life begins to flow differently. And because we are all connected, the shift in energy ripples out. We know not how far. Every single and seemingly small or insignificant effort is actually contributing to the greater good of the world. The more we can find our personal yes, the more we experience the joy in giving of ourselves. The more we discover hope, faith, resilience, and peace. Every yes brings a greater strength and determination, a deeper love, and a more profound sense of joy to the voice of humanity as it moves past the noise of resistance and into the harmony of true connection. And so in the name of all that is holy, we close together in prayer. There is one life, forever giving of itself as all of creation. I trust and give thanks for my own perfection as an expression of that one, even as I seek to align more closely with the Creator. I feel and know my connection with all that is. I trust in the eternal state and nature of life, the eternal nature of spirit. I trust in the joy that is inherently mine when I say yes to giving of myself. I give thanks for the beauty and the blessings that shower my life. for the challenges that build my character, resilience, and faith. God's grace takes many forms, and I receive it all with reverence, humility, and a deep sense of gratitude. By my conscious attention and choice, I make faith in the goodness of life my firm foundation. I embody generosity and joy, allowing them to become my state of being. My faith need not be loud, only strong, filled with the power of Spirit. My joy is the quiet assurance of goodness unfolding in this and every moment. All that passes before me is made more joyful by my presence. Joy comes quietly as I breathe in joy, allowing it to move through my body and out through my heart. Joy comes quietly as I give of myself, my time, my caring, my support and love are poured into the world without measure. And by the power of my giving nature, the world is becoming a more beautiful place. Giving thanks for this time of communion and the depth of my connection, I release my prayer, knowing that it guides my thoughts, my words, and my steps as I move into the coming week. I joyfully and gratefully receive grace in every form, releasing my word, calling all that unfolds from this moment on answered prayer, calling it all good in faith that it is done. And so it is. Amen. So we bring our awareness back to our space, to our community. As you feel ready, looking around to see the beautiful souls who are gathered here with you this morning, even in this blustery weather. Isn't it wonderful? You know, we come together on the Sundays not because we're supposed to go to church, but because we like one another and we want to be here together. We like to eat together. We like to talk and hug and have coffee together. It's so beautiful.
Today's the perfect day to stick around and have some soup.
That's true. So if you're new with us, we begin with our meditation time, and at 10:30 we'll come back. We'll have about 15 minutes, and we'll come back with the option of the same theme, having a conscious conversation with one another. And then around 11:45, we always have lunch in the social hall. We have amazing cooks, so we really are blessed here. We really are a family.
Good food.
Good food, always, yeah. So as we close our Taizé meditation, we offer you the opportunity to share of your financial good in support of the work that we're doing here and in the world. If you're joining us online, you can go to mysticheart.org and you'll find a donate button or a mailing address. We are an independent, self-sustaining organization, and your financial gifts are what make it possible for us to maintain our safe space, our beautiful space, and to do the work that we're doing in greater and greater measure out in the community. So as we honor the spiritual practice of circulation, I share with you, Bless Us All from the Muppets. One of my favorite versions of that story. So we say thank you for these many gifts as they are given. They're given of spirit, but they have to flow first through your lives and through your hearts and your hands, and that they are freely given is so appreciated. We pledge to take these offerings and to grow and expand them, and then to return them back out into the world, to keep the circulation going. And so it is. So, speaking of giving, we still have many bags from our 12 days of kindness. They're in the prayer room. Whoa, my microphone. What we did, and we've done now for 4 years, something like that, is that at Christmas time we gather some items together. We gather socks and mittens and hats and coffee packets and Christmas cards and cookies and water bottles, and we package them up and we take them out to the unsheltered neighbors in our community as we run into them, as we see them. Just keep them in our cars and, freely share anytime we get the opportunity. So if you'd like to take some for your car, you are welcome to do that. Again, they're in the prayer room. I can also bring out after the next service, or someone can show you to the back storeroom. We also have some sweaters and things still that could be picked up and offered out. So if you would like that, you can ask. Maybe Chris Netto can guide you to the back room, gather the sweaters or whatever. So, wanted to be sure that if you're leaving after this half of the morning, that you have that opportunity. And we're going to go ahead and bless you on your way, either to the rest of your Sunday or to your coffee and tea, coming back for conversation with the soul's blessing.
May your soul always find what it's looking for. May your heart always lead the way. May you live in peace and harmony. And may love always fill your day. May your path be strewn with happiness. May success find you everywhere. May you always embrace compassion and grace, and may God always answer your prayers. May you always embrace compassion and grace, and may God always answer your prayers.
God bless you. Have a beautiful day. I hope to see you back at 10:30.
All right. So we give thanks for this time together, for the quality of the people, if not the quantity. We give thanks for this life-giving rain, for the fresh, clean, crisp air of this first day of winter. We give thanks for just the joy of the Christmas season, the joy of turning the corner toward greater light in in all aspects of that word. We give thanks for the longer days to come. We give thanks for good friends and family to share it with. So, knowing that our time together this morning and our conversation flows with grace and ease and great wisdom and love, I simply get out of the way and let it unfold. And so it is. Amen.
All right. Well, welcome back, y'all who came back. Oh, my goodness. I'm amazed, actually, with the weather as it is and the holidays that we have us here. So it's wonderful. So if you are new online, and I say this every time because we never know who we have online. My name is Reverend Diana Johnson. I'm the pastor and spiritual director for Mystic Heart Spiritual Center. We're an independent interfaith community. We teach universal principles and practical spirituality, tracing the common threads of truth that run through the world's great traditions. So this day of winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, actually at 7:03 we made the turn back toward the light this morning. So, and as I said before, today's also the fourth Sunday of Advent. we have our candles lit to remind us of the Christ consciousness that lies in potential within each one of us, to represent our inherent spiritual qualities, the faith, peace, love, and finally today we celebrate joy. So let's get our conversation started by joining our voices, and there's only a few of us, so we gotta sing out.
Welcome to the Mystic Heart. Join the celebration. Lift your voice and sing your part. Make this affirmation. Spirit made us family, with loving hearts to share. Together we are joyfully practicing the possible through prayer.
And everything's possible
So
through
welcome to the
prayer.
Mystic Heart.
Woo! Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody's feet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody's feet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody's feet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. All right, this month we've been doing Peace Like a River, throwing a little bluegrassy stuff in there. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, got love like an ocean in my soul. Can you take lead, Chris? Can you take lead, Chris, or both of you, whatever.
I've got
My
joy
voice is going.
like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got faith like a mountain. I've got faith like a mountain. Got faith like a mountain in my soul. I've got faith like a mountain. I've got faith like a mountain. I've got faith like a mountain in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul.
Ah, yeah, peace like a river.
That's what I have behind my house right now.
Oh, a river.
Rain. You're blessed.
Yeah. So let's take a moment now to feel the presence of spirit in the body. Feel that elevated vibration that we bring when we join our voices together. Take a moment to notice the love filling you up, the joy filling your being. And join me in our sacred practice of visioning for a love-soaked world, where all humans are embodying and living from their highest selves, their deepest wisdom, their most generous nature, honoring and caring for one another and for our beautiful planet as the sacred home that sustains us. Feel and know with me a world where all needs are met, gracefully and easily, where all beings have plenty of nourishing food, the safety of a warm and comfortable home. Spirit's joining us. That's right. There we are. Yes. Where mental and physical health and education and well-being and healthy relationships are ensured by social systems that are grounded in integrity, honesty, and wholeness. Where all beings work and play at whatever feeds their souls and are well compensated for their service. This is a world where all beings are valued and respected for their inherent goodness and light. Where authenticity and vulnerability are not only welcome, but celebrated. Where the peace we cultivate within shows up as a world free of hatred, violence, or indifference. Feel and know with me a world where greed is no more, where there is absolute abundance in just having enough, where generosity is the norm, where every being receives all that is needed for a full and rich and contented life. By the power of our collective intention and our powerful imagining, we are writing a new story. We're creating a world that works for all beings. See it as done now. We know that our good work has borne fruit. We pay no mind to appearance, knowing that all is always being turned to good. We walk in gratitude, respect, reverence, and humility as we recognize the sacred in everyone and everything. There's a general sense of thriving. Authenticity is valued, and it is good. It is through our hands, our feet, our hearts, our voices, that positive change happens. We choose to align our actions with our vision, living these changes first in our own families, in our neighborhoods, our communities, and finally, as a nation. A new world has been born. During this amazing time of transformation, this community stands as an open and welcoming place for all who seek support, belonging, and a sense of family. By the power of our deep faith, our clear vision, and inspired action, this prayer is acted upon, even as it is spoken, in full acceptance of its reality, with the deepest humility and gratitude. We release our word now to the one who gets it done, and so it is. Amen. It is happening. We're doing our part here. Each of us is doing our part here. So if you were here at Taizé, which it looks like you all were this morning, maybe not online though, our topic of reflection has been the joy in giving. So I'm just going to jump right in with some questions this morning. How do you define joy? When you say you're filled with joy or you're joyful today, what does that mean to you?
Giggly, happy, light.
Giggly, happy, light? Okay. Lucinda?
Being uplifted
Uplifted?
in such a state that no one can irritate me.
Oh, in such a state that no one can irritate me. Because in truth, no one ever does irritate you, right?
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes.
Yeah. Such a state that I don't allow others' behavior.
I
To
use
irritate
others
me.
as a cause to irritate myself.
There you go.
Good one, Lucinda.
All right. Chris?
Now for me, joy has a sense of curiosity, awe, and wonder, like a childlike wonder
Okay.
to it. And
Curiosity,
a-
awe.
A childlike glee when they
Uh-huh.
see something that for the first time or something.
Yeah.
like
Okay.
Purity.
So childlike wonder and awe and glee. Chris?
A peaceful contentment that all is well, regardless of the appearances, but that curiosity of what will come,
Mm-hmm.
what can actually unfold.
So being grounded in knowing that all is well, but also with the curiosity at what's next. Michael?
And the strong feeling, on top of what she said, the strong feeling that you are at peace where you belong, right here,
Right.
right now,
Yeah.
and everything is perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just the way it is, just the way it is.
And being able to really accept that,
Accept
it.
especially when conditions are not as you might choose, right? You might choose otherwise. So we tend to say that joy is a spiritual quality of spirit, that it's given to us at birth, and unless we give somebody else the power, nobody can take that from us. And when we fall from that, it really is our own forgetfulness and our own, it's our own forgetfulness. That's what it seems. So is joy the same thing as happiness?
I don't think so, because happiness tends to be more of an emotion in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
and we can feel unhappy.
Yeah.
But joy is that deep knowingness. It's that centeredness. It's that
Mhm.
calm place where you're not going to be disturbed. You
Yeah.
just allow.
Okay, so for you, happiness isn't the emotional, it's changeable,
Change of
up and down. Okay.
But you are happy when you feel joy.
But you do have a sense of happiness when you tap into your own inherent joy. Yeah, Chris?
I was reminded of the Sister Monica Parker
Uh-huh.
song, "This joy I have, the world didn't give it to me, the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away."
Yeah,
So it's factory equipment.
right. Yeah. Great song. Love that song. We gotta get Marge to do that song soon. So this week's title says that there is joy in giving. Do you agree with that or disagree with that, or what are your thoughts about joy in giving? Lucinda?
I've always known that, but I think it's something that I've had a hard time getting others to understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an example that I've used. A long time ago, I had a friend who had kids, and she was stretched to the max, just trying to support the kids. So
Yeah.
I went out and bought them each this really big Easter basket.
Mhm.
I had the best time
Yeah.
shopping for that.
Mm-hmm.
But when I gave them to her, she, oh, no, we can't do that, you know. Do you not understand that I'm getting more out of this than
Right.
you are?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and this is that part that's hard for people to understand when they're so busy
Right.
being guilty.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Feeling unworthy.
yeah,
Right.
let me do this for you because I know you do for others.
Yeah.
Those kids look happy, healthy, you know,
Yeah.
let me help.
Yes. Thank you. Chris?
Well, I didn't really understand that line from the St. Francis prayer that you quoted earlier.
Mhm.
It is in giving that we receive.
Yeah.
Until I became a father. And especially around Christmas time with the kids.
Yeah.
The sheer glee on their faces and giddiness of,
Mhm.
unwrapping the presents. I had a way better time than they did, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, Chris?
I had the opportunity this week and weekend, Saturday, to deliver some of these bags that 12 Days of Kindness bags. And one day I did it with somebody and one day I did it alone. And it was interesting to see the different responses of people, and I think there's some of that notion of unworthiness, but by and large, they were well received, and it felt good to bring them a little bit of cheer
Yeah.
as they're standing in the rain, you know, and being moved on. But this one gentleman said, as all of them said thank you, but this one gentleman said, "Thank you, you're doing good work out here." So there's different responses to
Yeah.
giving, but it was an interesting feeling to be connected in that way. Now I go by the places where I gave these bags and I look to see if they're there and if they're okay.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's an interesting connection you make when you give.
Yeah. It's true. It is a way of connecting. So, how does giving, why do you think giving brings so much joy? One thing is you're making connection.
It makes me feel good to make other people feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it makes you feel good to see other people light up.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the beauty of life and love.
Okay, Chris, and then I'll be over here.
I know with when we first started doing this, with the giving gift bags to the unsheltered, I finally felt like I was doing something meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we look at problems like, you know, homelessness and think it's so huge. I can't do
Yeah.
it. There's nothing one person can do. But when you do make that connection one-on-one with another person, you
Yeah.
realize, yeah, I'm not helpless. I'm not.
Right.
I'm able to make a difference,
Yeah,
even if it's only for this one person.
right.
But they
In-
felt seen.
Yeah,
They felt seen.
Yeah.
right, yeah. Joe?
You're touching someone, it makes you feel good.
Mhm.
You're helping them at a moment when they need help, that's giving.
Right,
And you're touching them, and I think, you know, you're passing it on. They will
mm-hmm,
forever remember that, and they'll pass it on,
yeah.
you know.
Starting that ripple.
I don't spread myself too thin because I have my own
Right.
disabled son. I've got to keep my brain for that.
Mhm.
But when someone needs it and they're right there, you know, hey, I can help you or
Yeah.
give to you or touch you in a cheerful way.
Yeah,
And it makes me feel good, it makes them feel good, and I know it's, especially with the young people,
Yeah.
they grow to do that too, or to remember that and
Yeah.
spread the happiness.
thank you. Lucinda?
I think it's also important to remember that other people like to feel that themselves. And the thing that I was thinking about is I used to work with Dee Dee, and there was this one girl.
Developmentally
She was,
disabled, in case somebody doesn't.
Developmentally disabled,
Yeah.
yeah. And she was wheelchair bound and couldn't speak. And she was living in a home and had limited income.
Yeah,
And so we were all donating for some kind of a cause, and she wanted to donate. And everybody's telling her, no, you can't, no, you just can't. And I'm like, no, let her do that.
yeah,
This is her money, this is what she wants to do with it.
right.
She's doing it for herself as much
She's
as
doing it for
anybody else.
herself. Yeah, and
Yeah,
do
yeah.
not stop somebody from doing something like that.
yeah. So
Spirit's really with us today.
it is.
It keeps coming and going.
You know,
So
I
when I
need
give
go
to
off.
another, it takes the focus off of me. Sometimes we can get so stuck in me, my circumstance, my preferences. I don't know, I'm speaking for myself anyway, maybe you guys are all beyond this, but, you know, I can get stuck in how I'd like things to be different, or, you know, but me, my life, and what's not going as I would prefer. And when I look outside of myself to another person, it absolutely turns that around. It takes my focus off of myself and offers to someone else. And that, in and of itself, lifts me out of that stuck place. Just shifting my focus to somebody else.
You know, a lot of times people forget that, especially this time of year, that giving to somebody else is just as important to you as it is to the person receiving it. And a classic example of that is like this happened last year. Christy and I went through the drive-through at Starbucks. We were out shopping and I said, oh, let's go get a treat. Let's go get a Starbucks. Well, as we're going through the line, I mean, people are so impatient. They're revving up their engines and they're honking like, move, move, move. We can't go any faster than they can make the coffees, you know? So when we got up to the window, I handed her a $20 bill, and I think our bill was like $10. And told her, well, I gave her a 20 and a 10. And I said, give it to the girl and tell her to pay for the people behind us. And so we did that. And she goes, you know, nobody's done that this year. She said, usually somebody starts it.
Right.
So, but what was really weird is I told Christy, I said, let's pull around and sit in the parking lot and just watch what happens. And it's like it snowballed. It went from car to car to car to car. The honking quit. The impatience quit because everybody started to remember this is a season of giving.
Yeah.
Don't just be so impatient that you think your stuff is so important, everybody needs to get out of your way.
Yeah.
And it was just a very small gesture.
Right. Yeah. So when I take the focus off of myself that way and put it on another, then it makes, again, what do we get from that? It makes me feel useful.
Makes me feel happy that somebody else is happy.
Capable, makes me feel generous. It allows me to fulfill my nature. I'm built for that, so I'm fulfilling my nature when I'm giving to another. And I'll be over here.
It also inspires gratitude for,
Right.
you know, so many things that we normally take for granted.
Yes.
That so many people do not have.
Yeah. Allows us to be grateful and really not take things for granted.
It gives us a little bit different sense of what our purpose is. That purpose to give and to share whatever it is we may have.
Right.
But it's almost a sense of purpose.
Yeah. So it gives us purpose to give to others. So then I'm assuming, my question was, is giving something that you value? But it sounds like we value giving here. Do you make giving a priority in your life? What is a priority versus a value? Let's talk about that first. We have values, we have priorities. Lucinda?
A priority is something that is in the list of things I'm going to do, it's at the top.
Okay.
Okay, in the list of things that are important in my life.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that I won't put to one side.
Okay. So they're not just on the list, they are things I actually do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They are the things you do prior
Prior
to other things.
to other things. Yeah. Yeah. So values are the qualities that are important to us, right? So we have values. Priorities are the activities or the experiences that we actually make time and money for. So you look at one's actions for priorities, whereas you don't necessarily, you may or may not note their values from their actions. But a priority is definitely attached to what we actually do with our time and our money, our attention. Good morning. Yay.
Look what the wind blew in.
Right. So do our priorities sometimes conflict with our values? Go ahead with what you were going to say, then we'll address that.
Well, I was thinking about something that became a priority, something that was reluctant.
Mm-hmm.
So, cooking for here.
Uh-huh.
I had not volunteered. I was not going to.
You said you weren't gonna?
It was very reluctant, and at this point now it's a priority.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's shifted over the years, and that happens.
So what values do you have that created that shift, do you suppose?
Maybe I like to feed people too.
Ah, like to feed people. All right.
I like to contribute and I like to make sure that everyone has something to eat.
Nice. Thank you. No, cut that. It wasn't true.
I was going to say, in a perfect world, all our behaviors would be based on our values.
Yeah,
So,
in a perfect world, they would.
so I think part of spiritual practice is aligning our actions with our
Right.
values,
Yeah.
and probably defining and refining our values as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because what was important to me in my 20s is a lot of that stuff is
Right.
that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
And so my values have changed, and hopefully my behavior as well.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, so what they, whoever they are, say is to look, if you want to determine your true priorities in life, look at your calendar and your checkbook or bank register. Where have you put your time and where have you put your money? And that will point to your actual priorities. Now sometimes when we look at it that way, we're surprised by what our actual priorities are, and we might notice that in places they're out of alignment with our values. So that's a really nice way to bring those into alignment, is to acknowledge, I've heard people in my past say, no, this thing that you're talking about is a priority in my life. I say, but you don't show up for it. Like you're not here, or so how can that be when a priority is something you do prior to other choices you could be making? So physical health, when I look at one of the things for me is physical health. It's a value, it's a priority in many ways. When I look at my check register, certainly I see a priority there because I buy organic food, I buy clean meat, I buy, I don't cut corners in that area of my life because I believe the food is medicine. However, if I look at my calendar, it shows no space right now for I'm physically active, I move all the time, but I don't make time for strength training. I don't make time right now for aerobic training. I'm not in a space where I'm making that time. So when I look at my calendar, that helps me by showing me where my priorities and my values are out of alignment and where I need to make adjustments to bring them back into alignment. So when you think about your own life, are there places where your priorities or what you want to make your priorities and your values are not in alignment? Maybe it's just me. Could be.
Well, yeah, basically the same thing, although I'm finding that moving has both aerobic and strength training attributes to it.
I was just gonna say,
You are.
We are active.
An adjustment could be like doing deep knee lunges while you're vacuuming.
there you go.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I do that. I do exercise when I'm cleaning.
Yeah, this lady does exercise all the time, no
You
matter
do?
what she's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels good to like to
Amazing.
stretch and,
Yeah.
just be consciously aware of how you're holding
Right.
your body and allowing it to release in certain areas while you're getting things
Uh-huh.
done.
Yeah.
And go slow.
And go slow.
Because if you go too fast, you never get anything done. You start spinning.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I have been learning to slow down and let go of some things, to make the space. Part of this move is to make the space, to move into a place of greater alignment with those health priorities and music priorities and relationship priorities. That I want to call them priorities, but they actually haven't been. They're values, but not priorities. Okay, let's see. All right, I'm going to pivot here. A number of years ago, I was reading something, I don't remember who the author was, but he said that psychologically speaking, people interact with one another in the world in one of two ways, that they're either givers or they're takers. And that this is just their basic pattern of interacting, whether it's with other people or the world. And now, according to a different author, psychologist Adam Grant, he introduced another category. Does anybody know that third category? Anybody happen to have read about givers, takers, and matchers? He calls them matchers. So how do you suppose Grant defines a giver?
Someone full of love.
Okay, someone full of love,
Generous.
generosity,
Kindness.
kindness. You have something?
Well, givers can be giving for selfish reasons, so it's not always out of,
That would be-
it's more out of self-love and self-aggrandizement.
Yeah, well, he would call that a taker, whether the behavior looks like a giver or not.
The narcissist.
Yeah.
In the beginning, they give and give and give, and then they,
Yeah. So Adam Grant says that a contributor or a giver gives with no expectation of return, period. That's his definition of what he means by a giver. You give freely, unconditionally, the end. And that's how you interact with the world. So what about a taker then? What do you think he might mean by the taker?
The opposite.
Yeah, so the opposite. Even when it looks like you're giving, there's an expectation there. You want yours in return. So then if that's a giver and a taker, how might a matcher move through life?
Which is from the word, I'm gonna say, I'll match whatever you do.
Uh-huh,
If you give something, I'm gonna have to give the same amount.
okay,
And if you take something, I'll take two.
okay.
Although even saying that, it's like,
Yeah,
Because one of my things I'm figuring out, I like to share,
right,
and that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm expecting back. I just,
yeah. Sharing is a form of giving if there's no expectation attached to it. Chris?
It's more of a transaction. you know.
Okay.
If you get me a $10 present, I get you a $10 present.
Okay,
you know.
yeah. So the aim for a matcher moving through the world is to trade evenly, to keep everything fair, to preserve an equal balance of giving and taking, but in the name of keeping it fair. So, and it sounds good, right? Keeping things fair sounds like a nice place to be, but I think there are some downsides to it. What might the downsides be?
what's,
Anna?
I would say that if everything was kept the same, so it's
Mhm.
fair, how we ever evolve? How do we ever
Okay,
get over the
Right.
where we are?
Yeah.
If and to make up for the taking.
uh-huh,
If
okay.
you're not giving a little bit more.
Right, evolution demands an upward movement, a greater and greater development. Chris, and then Pamela.
I think it, I don't know if I have quite the words, it has to do with equity and equitable. And it has to do with the notion, the fairness is everybody gets shoes, but you need to give shoes that fit the need. You
Uh-huh.
can't give a size 10 shoe to a person who's a size 5.
Right,
So the idea of it is, it's fair in the sense, you're giving something if you want, but you need to make it appropriate for the need.
okay. So
I'm not sure.
keeping the gift in alignment with the need.
The need,
Uh-huh,
yeah.
okay. Pamela?
One thing I noticed is sometimes like when you give so much to somebody and then you expect that person, you expect that good to come back to you from that
Right.
person. But you gotta look for your good, like, and recognize it wherever it comes from. Whether
Right.
it be somebody will give you a 70% discount on something, that's money.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
that's something to be grateful for. Or
Right.
you know, yeah, just like you can't, if you're giving, like you said, give without expectation
Right.
from that person that you're giving from,
Yeah.
and just know that the universe has your back and that
Right.
it will come back to you. All that good that you've put out there
Yeah.
will come back to you. You just have to have faith and know that,
Yeah.
and accept where it comes from.
Right. So there is a law of expectancy that says what we expect is likely to be what we experience. So it's not saying don't have expectations, but perhaps the expectancy is that my good always comes. And I don't have to know how, and I don't have to know from where, and I'm not keeping track. And that's what he says can be a definite downside to being a matcher. A matcher is always keeping track of everything. That being a matcher shows a belief in lack or unfairness. I happen to believe that the universe is completely and always fair in the absolute sense. So a matcher is showing a belief in lack or unfairness. And then whatever the matcher is giving is not a true gift.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that it's conditional.
Right,
It's not an unconditional gift.
Yeah.
And to be a true giver, I think it needs
Right.
to be completely unconditional.
yeah. So as much as we might have all kinds of rationalizations for why we keep track, or when it's appropriate to put our own interests in front of the interests of others, research still shows that true givers, those who give expecting nothing in return, are more joyful. They live longer, happier lives, and they are more contented. Once again, it seems to be another spiritual principle, something that just is, whether we know it or not, whether we like it or not. And I'm going to ask Lucinda what you're thinking right now.
I'm not gonna answer.
She has a real thing about fairness. Your
I'm not
whole,
answering.
I know. You changed your body language though, even when I addressed you. You're like, oh, my arms are folded and I'm.
I did that before you asked.
Okay. I know you did that.
But I was
Give her
also
a break
thinking
now,
that
it's
you have
Christmas.
I know.
Come on.
I was thinking you have a point.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something I need to think of.
Yeah. Yay.
That's the thing
Little
about
people.
coming here, man. I never get to stay the same.
That's right.
And aren't you grateful?
Yeah.
I am actually.
Oh, man. Yeah. So this idea of giver, taker, matcher, fairness, unfairness, anything that we're discussing right now, is anything else floating through right now that wants to be shared? Bob?
When I give or help somebody out,
Mm-hmm.
my reward is a warm, fuzzy feeling,
Yeah.
and I don't have to know if they will contribute to church. Because I always turn down anything that they want to
Yeah.
return to me. So I would say the warm, fuzzy feeling is, can't be had in a drugstore. You can't say, I'll have a bottle of
Warm, fuzzy feelings. Right.
It's
That's
just
true.
something you do.
Yeah. So, thank you for that, because now I'm going to take that and toss it back into the room. So you give without condition, without expectation. You give from the pure desire to give, and it makes you feel good. And then another wants to, say, compensate you in some way, but you turn it down.
And
what does that do for the other person who's wanting to give back?
blocks them, it cuts them off, hurts them.
Yeah, so this giving and receiving is a cyclical thing. It's a cycle. And it takes all of it. It takes the willingness to give the gift without expectation, without attachment. But then if someone turns around and does for you in return, the willingness to receive it graciously, giving them the warm, fuzzy feeling. Because if you deny them that opportunity, they're not able to get their little jar of warm, fuzzy feelings. Yeah. So it's a fine line.
Yeah, I experienced that
Yeah.
when delivering these bags,
Uh-huh.
allowing them to express their gratitude
Yeah.
for it,
Yeah.
you know, and to watch them enjoy it and to express it. It's. I gave this gentleman a jacket to wear, and he put it on right away, and his eyes just lit up, you know. And his gratitude was to thank me for it and appreciate it, and I was able to accept that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the same man saying you're doing good work, instead of saying, oh, no, 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 I just
Right.
thank you.
Yeah.
Because they need to give back too. That's part of their joy.
Right. Yeah. So it's a cycle, and we block the cycle of giving and receiving if we don't receive back.
Years ago, I was performing in church, and the minister, he was my first mentor, would greet people as they were leaving the sanctuary, and so I go back there and work the other side of the door, and a woman came by and thanked him for the wonderful message and all that, and thanked me for the music, and she was kind of effusive, and I was kind of embarrassed about it, so I tried to shrug it off, kind of a false modesty. I see it now, that the shucks ma'am, it was nothing kind of thing, and she left, and the minister looked at me and says, that woman gave you a precious gift, and you refused it, you snubbed her. How could you? And I'm going, oh no. So that was a big lesson for me in learning how to receive.
That same man was my first teacher
Yes.
too, and he was sharp-edged.
Yep.
He was good. So other thoughts about givers, takers, matchers, or any of these?
Being careful and having the discernment not to keep giving to somebody that's just using you.
Yes.
That will just suck you dry until you're half dead.
Right.
Just stop and start loving yourself again, because
Right.
that person is never, ever gonna
Yeah.
give back.
Yeah. And, yeah, and if you're doing it to receive back, you're not really giving anyway, but then there are people who
But you
take,
think you
they're
are.
takers.
You think you are, and you're working your,
Right.
you're bending over backwards for,
Yeah.
just to be stabbed in the gut, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, my experience is, trying to help this person, and this person's screaming at me for it.
Right. Yeah. No, this is a taker, and we just can remove ourselves from the environment. Autumn.
I guess we ran into, not everybody is open to receiving.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, yeah, giving out of no expectation, but they have to be open to receiving it.
Right. Yeah.
And where does
Yeah.
it come from? It comes from lack of worthiness, right?
Right.
Or lack of love, or
Right.
like you never know where that person came from.
Right.
Like what happened as a child, and what's
Yeah.
in their subconscious that they don't understand.
Right.
And just send them love. That's all,
Yeah.
and try not to be hurt, and don't take things personal. Just send them love and let them
Yeah.
go. And that's not always an easy thing
So I
to
just
do
told
when
that
you,
Yeah.
lady,
when you love
I
somebody.
love you unconditionally, and I left it.
Uh-huh.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can love them and not keep giving because they have to they're using you as a crutch.
Right, yeah. Sometimes the most
It's
loving
not
thing you
helping
can
them.
do for them is to remove your support. Because you can become a crutch for people, or Chris, and then Marsh.
Had another thought about the matchers is that if you receive as you give, then that person is going to have a lukewarm experience of giving and receiving until they break out of that squirrel cage.
Yeah. Okay, Marsh?
Just to follow up on what Chris said a little bit, I think part of, as a musician, you get compliments, right?
Right.
And you are giving, but I know certainly for me, I literally had to have somebody tell me, just smile and say thank you.
Yes.
Because I just was uncomfortable with it. And ultimately realized it was about how I felt about myself.
Yes.
And how capable you are of accepting love, even though it might be not love that's being offered, but it's in that same vein.
Right.
The compliment. So, yeah, self-worth and,
Yeah.
you know, literally, now I fall into that smile and say thank you. Because it's,
Right.
because it's still uncomfortable to an extent. It's like I
Yeah.
love it, but it's like a double-edged sword. It's like if I didn't get the compliment, you know, I
Right.
wouldn't feel good about what I did maybe, but then I get them and I'm grateful, but I don't know how the heck to respond.
Yeah.
Except, thank you.
Yeah, and that's really
Yeah.
the most appropriate response,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Just thank you.
yeah,
Glad you enjoyed it.
right.
Yeah. Hello?
It's a practice in being a good receiver
Mhm.
because we've been told that we're not worthy.
Right.
We've been taught that, and
Yeah.
that's not the truth.
No.
We are all worthy to receive
Right.
the love that we need and the things that we need, you know.
Mhm. Yes, it's true. We're not taught, and our culture doesn't teach us to be good receivers.
And the notion of a matcher, you limit your abundance,
Yes.
because if you can't accept because you didn't give the same amount, then you've limited yourself.
Right. Yeah, it's very limiting. Keep everything tracked and fair, even. Pamela and then Lucinda.
I think also giving isn't just giving of things or money, it's giving of your time,
Yeah.
giving of your energy,
Right.
giving of being really good in your listening,
Mm-hmm.
and just giving that way,
Yeah.
you know.
And with a smile.
With a smile. Yeah. Lucinda?
I was just thinking about the importance sometimes of sitting down and thinking about the examples that you had growing up in this
Mhm.
area.
Yeah.
Because I was raised by a taker.
Yeah.
This woman never gave anything in her life, and I'm talking mental, spiritual, physical, you know.
Yeah.
She was a taker from the get-go, and if people were tired of giving, she complained about it, and they were the enemy,
Yeah.
you know. And maybe that's why sometimes it's very important for me to share,
Yeah.
because I'm not following that example.
Right. Yeah, it can be valuable to look at, who raised me and how was that? What were those people? Not to judge them,
No,
again, coming back to the question, what's it like to be them? What was it like to be them? And trying to do what they were doing, raising a child or, whatever their life brought them, whether they had to have a career and take care of children but what did they experience as children? And then what did they, it's cyclical. Generational trauma is a thing, it's a thing. And people are becoming aware now that there are ways that you can break those cycles, and people are breaking those cycles. It's part of our evolution, I believe. Did I see a hand, Marsh? No? Chris?
I was just thinking, it doesn't even have to be trauma, generational apathy.
Apathy?
Can be a thing,
Yeah.
or just
Emotional
that
DNA.
lukewarmness of
Right.
not wanting to participate.
Yeah.
that can be inherited too.
Right.
It's learned.
And usually at the base of any of that is fear. Some kind of fear somewhere is there. If people are experiencing or if that's their behavior patterns.
Fear of lack.
Fear of lack,
Fear of not being enough.
fear of not being enough, fear of not having enough,
Being loved.
fear of being loved, fear of not being
Not being
loved.
loved.
I mean, really,
Yeah.
That could be both.
it can be both, yeah. I don't want to not be loved. Oh, but if I'm loved, what does that hold me to?
Pressure's on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So anything else around those topics before I wrap up this morning? Lucinda and then Marsh.
Boundary setting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's important sometimes for us to take a look at the past, but also then think about my own actions and that maybe sometimes I need to set boundaries.
Right.
around How far I'm gonna go to
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah. Setting boundaries is so important.
Yeah.
That ties into what Pamela was saying about, you're giving and giving and giving and someone's a taker, taker, taker. At some point you have to put your foot down and create a boundary and say, done,
Yes.
done.
Because you become so resentful and angry.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not worth it.
Marsh?
I was just gonna say the generational anger, the generational negative, whatever it might be,
Right.
that gets passed on.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, so my father was physically and verbally abusive. And for some reason, as I got older and realized that so was his father, and then in talking to my grandmother, so was his father, that it truly was passed down. For some reason, understanding that made me promise myself, this was years before I had even thought about having children, but that
Yeah.
when I had kids, it was gonna stop. And-
Right.
And it did. And-
Yeah.
And the interesting thing was I don't know, it was a combination of like, I am not going to do that, I am just not gonna, it was
Right.
almost like fueled by
Yeah.
anger.
Yes.
And it works, and
It
so
does.
you end up with a spoiled kid, but he's also a loving kid.
Right.
Who loves me, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. There is the danger of the spoiling.
Well, entitled, I guess,
It's
is a better word.
Fine line.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
it's better that than to be
Yeah.
abused.
yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Yeah. Anybody else? So I have a couple of quotes I want to leave you with this week for your contemplations, perhaps. The first one's from Denzel Washington. He says, "At the end of the day, it's not about what you have or even what you've accomplished. It's about who you've lifted up, who you've made better. It's about what you've given back." Muhammad Ali. Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth.
That's good.
Yeah. And John D. Rockefeller Jr. Think of giving not as a duty, but as a privilege. So let's close with a brief prayer, a couple of brief invitations, some more music, and then lunch, shall we? Join me in knowing this truth for yourself as I speak these words in the first person. Infinite Spirit, loving presence. You are all in all, by whatever name we call this great mystery. You are all that is. Every part of creation, from the smallest of the small to the vastness of the cosmos, is an expression of your light. An expression of your love, of your power, and so am I. I am that. Each one listening is that. An individualized expression, perfectly and intentionally made. And so in knowing this as the truth of my existence, I can relax my heart and my mind. I can relax my need to control or to even think I have any control whatsoever over what's going on around me. And surrender to the flow of spirit in my life. In this holy moment, I acknowledge the loving presence and power of that which is beyond all names, trusting in divine order and timing as it guides my life. I approach each new day with faith, wonder, and curiosity, listening deeply for what is mine to do, what is mine to give. As I'm guided, I abide in your deep peace, in your love, in your joy. I allow your grace to lift and empower me, to be my strength and my compassion, to fill my thoughts, my words, and my every action. Thank you, Spirit, for all that you have given me, for my life and everything in it. I trust and know the power of the Word, the power of deep feeling. And so I know that this prayer is being acted upon right now, in this moment. And so in gratitude and humility, I just simply release it to do its good work. I call it done. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Well, thank you so much for being here today. We had the privilege and pleasure of officiating April and Miley's wedding yesterday. They had done their own dedication about a year ago, but they're legal now. So it's just lovely to be in community today, be here with you. So I invite you to join in the celebration of the work we're doing in the world by sharing of your good, should you choose to, and you may have already done that this morning. But if you're online with us, you can go to mysticheart.org and you'll find a donate button. You'll find a mailing address. And as we engage in the sacred practice of circulating our good, I invite you to remember, let every night end and every day start with a grateful prayer and a thankful heart. Enjoy the Muppets. Again. Different song.
Well, thank you to Diana's Chickens.
Joy.
Now I get to say thanks for the bucks. Thank you, Spirit, for this day. Thank you for these wonderful people, for this center, and for the financial support that allows us to do good work in the world and allows us to provide this safe and beautiful place to gather, to study, and to do our spiritual practices. So thank you, Spirit. Thank you to each one here. We accept these gifts with a grateful heart. Amen.
Together, hand in hand, see the light, we take a stand and we are changing. Holding life for you and me, take your past and set it free and share this blessing. Love be with you, peace unfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in. Truth come through you, make it flow to you, let joy renew you until we meet again. Love be with you, 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 until we meet again. Love be with you, love be with you, now breathe in. Love be with you, love be with you, love be with you, love be with you, love be with you.
Go out there and be the love, be the love.